Okay, so Makayla, do you want to share what was going on for you before you started working through the program and what was kind of the reason you decided to join?
Yeah, absolutely. Um, since I was 16, when I was 16, I lost my grandma, who was basically, I mean, she was my mom in my eyes. My mom and I are close, but she still is my mom in my eyes. And the circumstances around her death were they were pretty bad. So there was a lot going on with that. And so after she passed, I kind of just started running from everything and was like trying to fill a void. So that went on for 2012 to 2019. What is that, 7 years? So that went on for 7 years, and things just kept getting worse and worse. And it was like the universe was like, you have to change something. And I had like a little bit of time where I started to feel like this bliss every day, and things were going so great, and then it all came crashing down again. And so I was like, something's got to change. And so of course your program, it actually popped up as an ad on my Facebook, I believe, either Facebook or Instagram. And so I was like, oh, what is this? So I went and clicked on it and got on like a call with you guys, and everything just kind of started snowballing from there. Like it was just a snowball effect. And so, but yeah, that's what got me into the program was when I started reading about your program. Like it kind of made sense as to why I am how I am. Like I've always been very intuitive and very connected with myself. Even when I was disconnected, I was more connected than other people. Like I was always more
Yeah.
aware. Um, and so I just, it's not that I was trying to label myself. It was just kind of like almost like the science behind why I am how I am. And like I've always been very different from everybody I've known. And so it's nice to kind of be able to recognize what that was. So I think
Yeah.
that was another thing that really drew me into the program as well. But also you, I mean, you just have such a beautiful light about you and everything. So
Thank you. Aw, thank you. And yeah, I mean, I know there were like some different things even at the time you were, yeah, connecting back to your intuition, trying to find, what is it you truly want to do in the world and like what's going to make you feel fulfilled and light you up. And um, I guess as you were working through the program itself, what were some of the things that you noticed that kind of changed for you?
one of the first things I noticed was since I didn't know a lot about spirituality, I actually learned how to meditate for the first time. And so I still go back to the white light meditation is one of my favorite meditations of all time. Like I've fallen asleep doing it, and which I mean, it's pretty easy for me to fall asleep, but not usually while I'm meditating because I'm very focused. But on that one,
Mhm.
I've fallen asleep, and I'll go back and I listen to it a lot. So I learned how to meditate and learned how to be more self aware, which was just so great for me. And um, I knew I was an empath already, but I really got to dig deeper into that. And so I learned how not to give my energy to people who aren't going to reciprocate it, who are just there to take. And so I also have learned how to not necessarily cut those people out of my life, but have very limited interactions with them,
Mhm.
because they're all give and or all take and no give. So they're just
Yeah.
very depleting for me. So I mean, there were just lots of things that really popped up, but that's a few of the biggest ones that I've noticed because I still like it's something I haven't lost. Even when I have down days, I still realize those things and notice them in my day to day life and things like that. So
Yeah. Yeah. That's so exciting. And I think like one of the things, because we have talked about it quite a bit on the calls and stuff, is, not only guarding your own energy and like being aware of your own energy, but then also having those healthy boundaries of like,
yeah.
even though we can be empaths and we can care and love and want to support other people, but also being able to know when we're depleting ourselves and like how to come back and protect ourselves first.
Absolutely. And I think one of the other things I've really noticed too is just how much generally happier I am. Like, and it's so nice to have like a little tribe too, which I know our calls are switching to monthly, but like Holly, we just talk sometimes, or Emily will just message me out of the blue. So it's nice to have people that are very like minded that I can just talk to whenever, that I know are always going to be there for me, and I'm always going to be there for them. So,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I definitely don't have any like minded people like in my immediate presence, like actually with me. So,
Yeah, definitely that community, sharing
right,
wins or just connecting with each other. And so I'm really excited about that, to keep that for all of you and for myself to be able to be in there with you guys.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so
Um,
exciting.
yeah, yeah, definitely. So I guess my last question for you, your beautiful bright smile,
Thank you.
is that where, so kind of now that you've finished the program and stuff, what are, I guess, either some changes that you noticed over the course of the time, or kind of just like sharing your transformation and how things are now?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm still having highs and lows, which is that's just part of life. So the low days are definitely much more scarce than they used to be, which is just great. But you're always gonna have lows, no matter how happy you are. It's just
Yeah.
part of it. So I just go with the flow on that and kind of feel it, and then I just let it go. Because if I try to feel it out and like think about it, then I get too involved in it, and I don't want to become those emotions. So but I've been overall happier. And I have definitely noticed, like, I've always noticed synchronicities in my life, my entire life. But ever since I started in your program and have gotten deeper into spirituality and more of the inner self work, I've noticed even more synchronicities. And,
Hmm.
like, so I met somebody last week, and we had 3 or 4 synchronicities that just immediately popped up, and they were like, "That is so weird. That's a coincidence." And I was like, "No, there's no such thing as a coincidence. It's all synchronicities. It always is." And
Yeah.
so I just, I don't know. I'm overall just happier. I got into journaling and, like I said, meditating, and starting to attract more people that are like-minded. I mean, of course, you're still going to attract people that like they like your energy, but they don't have,
Yeah.
they don't have anything to
Yeah.
give. So I still attract those people, but I'm starting to recognize it within like a few days now, and I'm like, oh no, this isn't going to work. Like we got to stop talking.
Yeah.
We can't be friends. So
Yeah.
like, so I've noticed that I'm even more aware than I was just going through the program. And, I'm definitely going to go back through and do it again. But like I said, I still go through and do the meditations and all that sort of
Mhm.
stuff because I love it. And I love getting to do the phone calls and having
Yeah.
that community as well. So,
Yeah, definitely. Is there anything you'd say, like, last minute, for anyone who's thinking about joining or going through the program? Do you have any words of wisdom or advice?
so of course, I want to tell everyone who's thinking about it, like, just go do it, but it may not be the right time for them yet. So I think
Yeah.
really you have to kind of sit down and reflect on your inner self and kind of focus on, is this what's right for me right now? But I feel like if it's popping up, that doesn't matter when you do it, you're eventually going to do it. Like it's meant to be in your life. And it is life altering. Like everything about it is just so great. And I've seen so many. I haven't seen any males on the calls, but so many females who, like, you look at them one week and then 3 weeks later, it's like they've totally transformed, and it's just so beautiful to watch because it's like one day it just clicks and they come out of their shell and they're like glowing, and you can hear it in their voice and how they speak and the words they choose. So it is just beautiful. So I would definitely say to do it.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing
You're
everything with your
welcome.
story. And yeah, and honestly, like you just said, I mean, you're glowing, so it's so great
Thank
to
you.
see that. And I'm excited to continue, watching your growth and just seeing where things play out for you in the future too, on the calls.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.